Hi everyone, so today I'll be doing an unboxing video of the Cooler Master Sedion 120V. Now, they did make two versions of this water cooler and I'll explain why later in the video. So, on the box you just have a photo of what it is, the warranty sticker. On the side it's just a photo of it out when it's all complete. And on the back you have just basic what's in the box, as well as instructions in multiple languages. So, let's get to opening it. Oh, and there is on the box a list of sockets that it works with, so AMD, FX and all that. So you got just your basic anti mist shit. So you have your mounts for your CPU, all the bolts and some thermal posts. It's actually pretty decent, it's Cooler Master. Here we have the lock and pump system, and which I'll just lift out. We have a 120mm Cooler Master fan. Basic guide on how to put all this together and how it all fits. It's actually pretty detailed actually. Your warranty, and here we have the radiator. So one of these in New Zealand is about $90. I picked this one up at a tech mall in Bangkok for 50 NZ. So if anyone's keen on the link to, well, the name of this tech mall, because they do a lot of other cool stuff, you can get a bigger version for about 180, but it won't actually fit in my case, and I'll explain why later. So I'll just get all this out of the box and start fitting it. So I mentioned just before that I couldn't fit the two 120mm fan radiator in. The reason being is there is not enough room at the top of my case for one to go along the top mounts, as the motherboard sits too high and it actually hits the CPU and the RAM sticks as well as the power plant. So I had to go with a back mounted one. I can't go with a front mounted because of the way the case is designed. There's too much distance between the CPU and the front of the case, as well as getting it in there is a pain. Hence why I've only got one fan at the front. So a quick rundown on my computer is I've got the EVGA Nex 650 gold power supply, fully modular. I've got a WindForce Gigabyte GTX 960, the 3-fan gaming edition, a AMD FX 6350 for memory, CPU, one 8GB stick of HyperX Blue, one just standard Kingston stick that came with the computer I bought, disk tray for installing Windows, and a ASRock Game Pro motherboard. So on the case is a Silverstone windowed case, which costs about $90 New Zealand, so about $50 US. So there's the window. Really cheap case, but don't look half bad. Has USB 3.0 jacks on the front, and then on the back, just a quick rundown. So two USB 3.0s. Two USB 2s, just standard old ones, PS2 ports, full sound set, and that's the graphics card ports. That was sort of a bonus on this motherboard, as I use it for making music and other bits and pieces. Now the other downside to this motherboard, particularly with this case, is the power supply the power cable for the motherboard is having to go right across my whole computer. I've tried to tidy it up. There are no ports in the back to hide that cable just to get it to where it needs to go. So eventually I'm looking at going to an MSI motherboard, or I'm going to fully rebuild the computer. But we'll see what happens. I wouldn't mind getting two 960s and SLI just because I like the look. But I'm running a terabyte hard drive, no SSD yet, as haven't had to reinstall Windows, and when I built this computer I was a bit short on funds. So I'm going to get into installing this and just show you what it looks like when it's in, try to fire the computer up and see if it works and what the downfalls are. Okay, so the first part of this is done. I had to read the instructions a little to figure out which bolts I have to use, because there are a few, but that's how it looks. So I'll just put the other bolts and tighten them up, and I'll continue on once I've got that done. I just took the factory CPU cooler off and just realised that I should really start cleaning these things more. There's a bit of dust around. And before anyone asks, that is not the factory thermal paste, it was actually stuff I brought for like 50 cents a tube, so it worked. Right, back to the build. Right, so that's mounted in. Sitting up there. Phone's playing up. But I had to top mount it, and the reason being is, you might be able to, there's a lid there, which means that the radiator won't fit. So I had to improvise, muck around, pull out some cables, get everything sorted. But I can just fit it in. It's actually about a millimetre gap between the RAM and the top of the fan. If anything, the RAM's going to be cold, so that's a bonus. But yeah, so I'll get the CPU done, plugged up, and we'll see how this goes. So here's a quick shot of the front of the graphics card after I figured out I have to take the whole motherboard out. You should really read the the instructions before you start doing stuff. So 3 fan, nice copper cooling, 3 ways. Really good graphics card. I can post some video, or there's videos on my channel of the running of this card and all the games I do. So yeah, I'll get back to the build. Right, so everything's now mounted. I had a few troubles getting the surround for the actual cooler block to fit because of this motherboard. For some reason sits higher off the back of my case than others, but it's in, so it's all plumbed up, all bolted in and ready to go. So I'll just do a quick run around. I did take the top vent cover off, only for the fact that it means better airflow. Haven't done anything to the back, but yeah, I'll try to tidy up the cables, but you can't really do much with this case, so I'll put it all back together and do a fire up. Right, so everything's put back together and plumbed in, piped up, turned on. Time to turn the computer on. Now, I haven't had this running in a month as I've been away on holiday, so it's a real test to see if the PC actually lasted. Better check that there is power. Nope. Right, let's try this again. So, I do have blue PC case lighting in there too, but as you can hear, the only real noise is the thing.
and right now it's on push, pushing it out of the case. Oops. Oh well. Still keep it cool. We'll fix that later on. But yeah. So that's a good start. Oops. Just sort of set that up so my sisters can't go on my computer, but if anyone who's seen my other videos, they are still alive. My 7.1 chromas do still live. The only problem I had was the cable that runs from that earmuff with the cable going in to this one broke. So I did some DIY and actually fixed them up, but they still work fine. So it still lives. I'll see what core temp says on that. One screen's not working, which is probably the screen I actually need. I need... Where is it? Recording. I go West Ham. And I need core temp. Right, so this is my CPU. So right now it's running at 18 degrees and a max of 20. So sure, it is keeping it cold. I'll fire up Steam and throw in some gaming to see if it actually changes anything. Actually, we'll probably just play video. This is actually an unreleased piece for the channel, so lol. Anyone who's watching gets to see a wee snippet. Okay, that's not working. Set offline mode. Library. Jump on some Modern Warfare. If anyone wondering, this is my setup. I just haven't got that screen going yet. Nothing fancy, just a 720p TV screen, 2 old school 1080p monitors, which were originally silver and I spray painted black to go with the black screen, just a cheap keyboard, and this is still alive after a year and a half. So it cost me $6 off of AliExpress. I can leave a link in the description. I'm using the original mousepad I got for this channel over a year ago, the original headset I brought, just had to do some fixes, and it's pretty much the same computer, I'm just slowly doing it up as I go. So this is playing the intro video, and that is your temps. So I'll actually skip the video, change out this, change to speakers so I get some sound, special ops, solo play. Right, so here's gaming. I won't really do much. just jumping around. And if you read there, it is at 17 degrees. So let's see how long you last staying in one spot here. But yeah, so you get the point. One hand gaming, not easy. Can you do the first round one handed? Yes. Right, so that's a good test. That's on the highest settings Modern Warfare goes. And the max was 23 degrees. So I'm really pleased because my old CPU, which was CPU cooler, which was the factory one, would get up to about 50, 60 degrees. So I'm gonna do a few gaming videos, Battlefield 4, might do some Need for Speed because I just brought that before I went away, and see what I can actually get it to on Ultra. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Any questions, drop them in the comments. If you want to see more gaming videos, more product reviews, just let me know what, and I'll see what I can do. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe.